Well, ladies and gents, the top Disney diversity executive, that's right, there is a diversity executive behind the Reimagine Tomorrow campaign, is leaving the company amid financial woes. Even though that's the case, the company's not shutting down the DIE department, the diversity, inclusion, and whatever else it is. Exclusivity, I guess. Who the fuck knows? The DEI department. That's not being shut down. No. Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. So let's check this out, guys. Is the woke rot at Disney being excised? No, of course it's not. But it is funny nonetheless. So it seems that there's no letting up for the storm brewing over the Magic Kingdom. So loads of multiple failures. Interestingly, the CFO is going, Christine McCarthy. She was sort of slated to be the next CEO, in fact, even though she's now been cited in a lawsuit from shareholders. That's funny. So the Walt Disney Company has now lost their Chief Diversity Officer, LaTondra Newton. Chief Diversity Officer. God, check that pigmentation. Check them genitalias, I guess. What the hell is this? This is what they're spending money on, guys. Pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. So, stepping away from the House of Mouse after 6 years in her role, Newton's departure was first announced on June 20th, yesterday, courtesy of an internal company memo. And here it is. To our extended DEI and HR team, I'm writing to share the news that LaTondra Newton has decided to leave the Walt Disney Company to pursue other endeavours, wrote Disney HR head Sonia Coleman, per a copy of the memo obtained by Variety. Since joining the company in 2017, LaTondra has led the company's strategic diversity, equity and inclusion initiatives, including partnering with stakeholders across the enterprise to amplify stories of the world by people around the world. Like who? Who? Because I say this all the time, right? When you cast for diversity's sake and you start meeting a quota, you get homogeneity through casting, right? So each story, we know that there'll be an archetype in that story. It's like a Netflix movie or whatever. You always know that there's certain archetypes that are going to be cast. We all know this. And I always say true diversity should be through narratives, right? Through actual productions. So Netflix, give a bunch of African filmmakers hundreds of millions of dollars and get them to tell really, really good diverse stories, like actually in Africa, about African myths and legends or things like that. Do diversity through programming, not diversity through casting. Because otherwise, diversity through casting just creates homogeneity. It's boring. And everyone's getting bored with it. Because they announce they're going to remake something. You go, well, I'm waiting for the gender or race swap. Oh, and there you go, it happens. And you go, well, that's boring because I saw that coming. Whereas if Netflix came out and went, we're telling a story about African gods, you'd be like, oh, that's interesting. I don't know anything about African gods. Let me have a watch. Anyway, whatever. So, side tangent there. She's been dedicated to ensuring every person sees themselves and their life experiences represented in a meaningful and authentic way. Totally boring. Cotton wool society. Fuck you all. I know you will join me in thanking LaTondra for her many contributions, including the lasting impact she has had on our employees and our culture. Working alongside all of you and so many others, she has inspired countless cast members and employees to bring out about lasting change and to help create a world where we can all feel safe and we all belong. The irony of them saying this literally in America, I say about safety, you know, in like LA and things like that, you know, it's basically a shithole, so whatever. I think there's some subtle irony there as well. So, however, I know people will take offence to that. Just go have a walk around. However, despite Newton's exit, Coleman would confirm that the company would not be shuttering the DEI department, as evident by such recent moves as renewing the social justice-focused The Proud Family Louder and Prouder, greenlighting a new animated series based on their Floundering the Little Mermaid remake, and allowing a drag performer to serve as the face of Disneyland's Bibbidi Bobbidi boutique, but temporarily reorganising it until a new CDO could be found. And here's what's said. So LaTondra's direct reports will report to Julie Merges on an interim basis until a new DEI leader is identified. I want to thank Julie for leading this team along with her talent acquisition organisation. Additionally, Shelby Curry and the DEI internal communications team will continue reporting to Carrie Brown in her role leading internal communications and engagement for the company. Do they not realise that at companies, you must realise that people just don't give a shit about this, and this is just bleeding you dry of cash because all these people are just chancers. They're like, oh yeah, I can check people's DEI. That'll give me 100 grand a year. There you go, no worries. 100 grand is definitely not what they get paid. They get paid significantly more. So to this end, Coleman ultimately concluded, thank you all for your continued contributions to our DEI efforts. Fucking such efforts. I know we can count on you to keep this important work moving forward during this leadership transitions. Yes, super important. According to an insider who spoke to Variety, Newton's post-Disney career will see her being added to the board of an as-of-yet unknown company, as well as dedicating more time to her personal creative company. Well, great. I can't wait to see what incredible things she does. And this is what she has done. So having joined the company, as noted by Coleman in 2017, Newton's most recognisable contribution to Disney's DEI effort may be her development and promotion of their now infamous Reimagine Tomorrow campaign, which first leaked to the public attention by an anonymous company insider to independent journalist Christopher Rufo in 2021. The still ongoing campaign seeks to educate Disney employees on such critical theory-drenched topics as systemic racism, white privilege, white fragility, white saviours, microaggressions, and anti-racism. Basically, a whole load of utter bollocks. In one module, Disney declares that not only must potential racial allies, specifically white individuals, that's racist, embrace discomfort and humility, but they must be challenged colourblind ideologues and rhetoric as all lives matter or I don't see colour. Oh my goodness me, these people are so insane. The module further asserts that non-black employees must not question or debate black colleagues' lived experiences. God, what a boring place to work. Oh, so you did this, did you? Oh, that's interesting. Could you tell me about that? Oh, did that really happen? Blah, 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 blah. No, you can't do that. This is some of it as well. This is just critical race theory. It's just bollocks. Absolute nonsense. Absolute nonsense. We all know this is nonsense. And if you don't know this is nonsense, well, God help you. You're an idiot. And you're part of the problem. This person's a moron. So, yeah, she's tanking the company and part of it anyway. And, yeah, they're still not going down. Anyway, I'd love to hear your thoughts. This is not a good thing because they're still keeping it going. But still interesting nonetheless. Off to bigger and better things, I'm sure. Bigger grift, as it were. Take care.